Get involved, I went to them and said, well, I want to combine it with some other ideas I've been working on in the same rough area, and came on and started rewriting it myself and turning it into the film that you've seen. But well, I certainly tried to be true to the spirit of their original intention, to try and, rather than just inventing science fiction concepts, but to try and see what real world scientific
talking about equations, I had to know the argument behind what I was talking about. Yes, I will never know as much as Kip Thorne. And I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough to save the world and solve the equation of gravity. But we had, I know. I'm really busy, Anne. But we had Kip on set with us, and before Kip was around, I had the opportunity to talk to Chris anytime I had questions about what does this mean when this character is saying this to Dr. Brand. And I was very lucky that normally an actor has to fill in their backstory on their own, and that's something you do before you come to set, but the first 25 pages of the film are my backstory, and it's everything that shapes her every move. So that was very important to me. Chris suggested that Mackenzie and I hang out, which was great. And we worked a lot on the character. And do you want to take over this part?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was I just finished school. I did my semester.
I'm a little bit of a physics nerd, so some of the concepts in the film were had like a baseline of it, but it was still way outside anything I had ever tried to comprehend. So Kip was really useful and helpful in explaining it. And I've got to say, one of the things I wasn't expecting, because I mentioned I was having a little trouble finding my character on this one, and it was actually talking to Kip and meeting him and realizing he was so different than I thought he was going to be, because I got on the phone with him and I was so scared that I was just going to bore him or frustrate him with, my limited comprehension. And he was so patient with me, and he really, it never seemed like I was bothering him, and he really took the time. And I just thought, oh my God, that's who you can be. And then because I guess that I'd always thought, and maybe it's my own prejudice, I thought somebody that smart would be in some way arrogant, or, and so that's when I decided, Amelia has an idea of how she's supposed to be based on her ability to do this, and it has made her arrogant. It has made her rely so much on what's up here. And then she obviously goes through something in the movie that changes her. She makes this huge mistake that has catastrophic results, the worst you can imagine, and she's humbled by it. And I thought who she is at the end is Kip Thorne. She's this beautiful brain and this heart. And she is exactly who, could do this huge task set to her. So Kip was a great help in a lot of ways. But I've got to say, Chris was really amazing at always being able to explain the physics and explain the rules of the world, because sometimes I'm there, Christian's there, Tom Hardy's there, and he's Bane and Catwoman, and Christian's Batman. It was a really cool moment, and and I didn't know what was going to happen next, if we were all just going to go away, and if there was going to be a rehearsal or what. And I remember I'm standing there in the cat suit, and I'm not 100% comfortable with this yet, and so I'm just trying to be how do you stand, oh my God, what is this going to be like? And Chris came over and goes, hey, so I just wanted to ask you, what's your process like? And to be honest, I'd had a string of non-connections with directors, and I had even forgotten that I was allowed to have a process, and it was the last thing I expected on a movie of this size, wearing a cat suit, was for the director to come up and say, what's your process? And it's such a gift to work with someone. If someone asked me, is Chris an actor's director? And I say, Chris is an all-department director. I think every department would feel that way. He's inspiring, and he's there for you, and he keeps it light and fun, but focused, and you're here.